DC fans, are you ready?
The DC Universe is about to change.
DC Fandome is coming.
One day where everything DC comes alive.
The epic global event
that will take you on a journey.
Beyond your wildest expectations. Nothing compares to this.
Featuring the biggest stars, the biggest titles, the biggest reveals.
What the?
Join me.
Join me.
Join me
at DC Fandome 2021.
It's gonna blow people's heads off.
One day.
One show.
for you.
the fans. Save the date.
You won't want to miss it.
DC Fandome. Join us live October 16th. And be the first to see the new trailer.
Welcome back, everyone. This will be my new DC Fandome trailer for the Batman, the other DC movies that they'll be releasing footage for. There's a couple new scenes from all the different movies in this, so I'll explain what's going on. There's a bunch of Easter eggs. Obviously, it's going to be crazy this weekend. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all those videos. Of course, I'll be doing videos for all the trailers they release. It is going to be Trailer City in a couple days. If you have no idea what's going on, DC Fandome is coming this Saturday, and they released this trailer just to hype up all the other trailers they're dropping. It's a trailer for a bunch of trailers, mostly for the Batman trailer and a couple of the other upcoming movies like the Flash movie, which also has two other versions of Batman, the Black Adam trailer, and a bunch of early footage for everything else. Within this, they did include some new teasers with brand new footage they haven't released before, so I'll talk about that. And since the last Batman trailer, we've learned a lot more about what's going on with Matt Reeves' Batman universe and their overall plans for the future of Batman in the DC movies, or at least a version of Batman in the DC movies. Because now we do have 3 versions of Batman running around in the movies. So I'll start with the Batman stuff just because that's sort of like the crown jewel of DC fandom this year, and then I'll talk about the new footage and Easter eggs for the other movies like the Black Adam footage and some of the other Flash movie footage in here. There's just a little more footage of Robert Pattinson's Batman, Catwoman, the Riddler, the Batmobile, mixed with some footage from the trailer that we saw last year. And on top of that, you may have also noticed some small changes in the older footage. If you've watched a lot of trailers for a lot of different movies, different studios, you probably noticed that between the first teasers and the last trailers for movies, things like the color correction, the special effects, the way they frame shots, all changed just a little bit so that sometimes you think that you're looking at different footage, even though they use the same footage in a lot of trailers. The cool thing about the last Batman trailer we got last year is that when they released it, Matt Reeves had only been filming the movie for a couple weeks. They legit released a long-ass teaser trailer and they'd only been filming for a couple weeks. And to boot, most of that footage was only from like 20% of the movie. But we have a pretty good idea for what the story is, the tone, and where Matt Reeves is taking this Robert Pattinson version of Batman. It's being referred to as more of a Batman horror movie than we've ever seen before. Not a legit horror movie like the Halloween movies, like not a slasher flick, just more horror elements and a more horror bend on the material than, say, Christopher Nolan's Batman Dark Knight movies. But this new Batman movie borrows a lot of inspiration from the Long Halloween story. It seems like it's set around the Halloween holiday because of all the Halloween costumes for the other Justice League characters. Like, there's a Superman Halloween costume walking around in the footage. So it just lends itself to a little bit more of the heightened horror elements that you see around the Halloween holiday. And it's not a copy-paste version of the Long Halloween story, it's just borrowing some inspiration from that, some elements. And it's using the Riddler to sort of set off this first movie in a trilogy with sort of a Zodiac type of twist on the character, like the David Fincher Zodiac version of the Riddler, with the whole murder mystery of it all, mixed with the darker, scarier take on the Batman mythos. And it's funny that I make that Zodiac comparison because if you've been watching the news this past week, they actually just revealed the true identity of the real-world Zodiac killer that movie was based on. Like legit, they just found out who he was a couple years after the David Fincher movie came out. So the real Zodiac killer would have been able to watch the movie that was done about him. But as you can see from all the footage, Matt Reeves just going with a darker, scarier take on the Batman mythos. And the other really big change that Matt Reeves has said that he's done with his version of this new Batman universe that he's building is to put this movie earlier in Batman's career, but not doing a Batman origin story. That's why he's doing it as year 2 Batman. And one of the big reasons why he chose to do it that way is so that he could also do origin stories for most of his bigger rogues gallery of villains. Like Catwoman, even though she's not really a villain technically, Penguin, Riddler, even the new version of the Joker in the sequels that he'll eventually probably work up to. So yes, it's all about doing a darker, world's greatest detective style Batman murder mystery thriller movie, neo-noir style, but really it's about leaning hard into the villains in a way that Batman movies haven't done in a while. Like Matt Reeves legit said that he was just as excited to do a movie about Batman villains as he was to do a movie about Batman himself.
The villains are often, some of the most, if not the most exciting part of the movies. I mean, the Rogues Gallery is incredible, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to see a Batman that was not an origin tale, but was sort of in these early days. But that meant that a lot of the characters who are the Rogues Gallery characters are in their origins in a way. And so we have a Selena Kyle who's not yet Catwoman.
We got a lot of Batman villains during the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight movies, but he didn't focus on them quite as much as it sounds like Matt Reeves is focusing on the villains. In fact, they've also confirmed 2 spin-off series from the Batman movie for HBO. You've heard about at least one of them, maybe the other 2. No release dates for either of them yet, but the first one is the Gotham City PD series that they talked about a long time ago, and it sounds like that is actually now turned into more of an Arkham Asylum series, with the Gotham PD and Gordon just being a huge part of it. Like I said, Matt Reeves leaning harder into the villains. It's much easier to do that when you take an Arkham spin on a TV series. The second Batman movie spin-off that you probably just heard about is the full-blown Penguin series for Colin Farrell's Penguin, who said that he's barely in this first new Batman movie and probably won't be a big character till the sequel. So don't be surprised if they do other HBO series for more of the Batman villains between Batman movie sequels in this new trilogy in the next several years. But Robert Pattinson is supposed to be the new main version of Batman in the movies, the way that they view it at Warner Brothers. But because they're rolling full multiverse with the DC movies using the Flash movie, and they're bringing back both Ben Affleck's Batman from the main Justice League Earth and Michael Keaton's Batman from Earth 89, or whichever Earth you want to call his Earth from the Tim Burton Batman movies, Robert Pattinson's Batman isn't going to be the big crossover Batman of the other DC movies, at least right away. Matt Reeves made it sound like he just wanted to do his own thing in his own corner of the multiverse for at least right now. And that was the reason why they wanted to put it on Earth 2, which is where it's supposed to be taking place. Maybe there'll be some Easter eggs or a reference for his Batman during the Flash movie when the Flash is traveling the multiverse. There is a little bit of Flash movie footage in this. They're going to be releasing a teaser trailer and some behind the scenes for it. If you remember, there was a leaked Flash movie promo from earlier this year with a whole bunch of concept footage and details about what's actually happening in the movie with the scenes. It showed Ezra Miller's Flash inside Michael Keaton's Batcave. It showed another mystery character that they kept blurring out with spoiler warnings. And I believe that's because the character is supposed to be the secret villain of the movie in a dark version of the Flash. But it's going to be like Dark Flash versus Ezra Miller's Flash instead of the villain being straight up Eobard Thawne Reverse Flash, because they're doing the Flashpoint-inspired story. And if you saw the new previews they released of all the different logos, this logo of the Flash symbol spray-painted red and yellow over one of Michael Keaton's Batman suits, I believe is supposed to represent his Dark Flash character. Then there's also supposed to be the Black Adam trailer with actual footage from the movie. There are a couple scenes of him in his costume in this trailer here. This is basically what he looks like, but they kind of cut him off at the shoulders here. This is what the full costume looks like behind the scenes. This is also Hawkman's costume. Looks familiar. This is a first look at Cyclone in her costume, and this is obviously Pierce Brosnan. He's playing their Dr. Fate of the DCEU. I'm assuming we'll see him in his costume in that teaser trailer they release. But they're using the Black Adam movie to introduce the DCEU, Justice Society, so we might actually also get a spin-off for their team in the future as well. They do have a version of the Justice Society on the Stargirl TV series featuring John Wesley Shipp's Jay Garrick. I'm also kind of hoping that they feature John Wesley Shipp as some character, some cameo scene inside the Flash movie. It would be a bummer if he's not at least in there somewhere. Also, probably some sort of cameo scene or some sort of reference to Grant Gustin's Flash from the Arrowverse because of the big Justice League crossover in Crisis on Infinite Earths. And on the other side of the Black Adam coin, they are supposed to release some sort of new Shazam 2 teaser trailer. They released one a couple months ago, and I did a video for it, so I'll link that below in the description, but it was just a comedic clip of him showing up inside their living room to highlight the brand new costumes. Like, they got full-blown redesigned costumes that look way better. And they revealed that they've changed the way they're doing the Mary Marvel character, because now the actress who plays the real version of Mary is old enough in the right size to play the superhero version of Mary Marvel when her powers are activated. But this is really just scratching the surface in terms of the big trailers they'll be releasing. There'll be a Peacemaker trailer for the HBO series, probably an official release date for that too, trailers for most of the other TV shows, and maybe some kind of early preview for that Green Lantern HBO series, because it has been a hot minute since they've revealed any more information about that. But if you have any big questions or requests for the videos that I do for all this stuff, just let me know in the comments below, and make sure you have alerts enabled for my channel so you don't miss any of those trailers. Everyone click here for that brand new Marvel Daredevil announcement about him coming back, and click here for my brand new Eternals trailer video and Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.